Because YouTube is more broken than ever, if you want to see more Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts, and The Legend of Zelda content, I'd really appreciate it if you can hit the bell after subscribing. That way you'll never miss another video again. Once again, a lot of you guys think I'm joking, but I promise you I'm really not. It says here 78% of you guys who consistently watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel. And I appreciate you loving the videos. Honestly, that means the more to me than actual subscribing. But when we all come together and subscribe and actually become part of a community, not only will it open us to more opportunities to stuff like building a relationship with Square Enix that can even give me inside scoops on stuff that I can get out early and things like that. But honestly, overall, it just means more people to talk to about video games we really like. So I would really appreciate if you guys enjoy the videos and share with your friends that you'd really end up subscribing to the channel, as I'd really love to hit 10K by the end of this year. As most creators know, 10K is a really big milestone and really opens up a lot of doors in terms of being a content creator. So all of you guys who do that, thank you very much. And if you feel I need to earn that, allow this video to be my attempt at that. As you could tell by the title, I've technically done this video once before. It was over a year ago now that I initially did that. However, back then we didn't have as much information as we do now, and it's kind of made me want to rework a couple points in that video. I could always just do a pinned comment or something on that video, but I'd rather just go ahead and redo it, just because I feel that it's easier. It's easier to put things into words than to just type it out in a comment, and more people are rather see this than to just see some other comment. So that's just why I'm doing this. Again, this is a non-scripted video that I have outlined for major points that I do want to rework from that initial video. So one thing I really want to make sure we all know, again, there's going to be spoilers for The World Ends With You Final Remix in this specifically, as spoilers to the new ending of that game will be stated in this video. So if you haven't seen a full story recap or anything like that, or play the game for yourself, just know you proceed with caution. But if you have played the game, or know the story already, or just don't care, feel free to continue on, as let's get this going. Okay, one thing we need to make sure we all know and we're all on the same page, as I kind of said in another video, that Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and The World Ends With You are all part of one universe. As we've seen throughout the series, Sora and gang have met up with the World Ends With You characters. They're very close friends with the gang from Traverse Town. These are all characters from different series that have gone on their own adventures, been the protagonists of their own stories, and yet still come together for the culmination of what is Kingdom Hearts. And with this, I want to make sure that that is known. Going forward, in The World Ends With You, a person who dies can end up being sent to another plane of reality where they participate in the Reaper's game, where you complete missions in an attempt to win the game and regain your life back. And for everyone here who has seen Kingdom Hearts 3, or played Kingdom Hearts 3 that is, Sora did die at the end of that game. That's what happened. I know some people are still in denial about it, but he died. That's what happened. And that is what I really feel is going to make a big plot point for this next game, with still having him as the protagonist. In the secret movie of Kingdom Hearts 3, we did end up seeing Sora waking up in the Shibuya Scramble, which is the same place you wake up when you're participating in the Reaper's game. This is blatantly obvious if you played The World Ends With You, as Neku wakes up in this exact same spot when he's about to begin the game. Now, I know in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, Sora did promise to meet Neku once again, but this time it would be in Shibuya, but I don't necessarily think this is the circumstances he wanted to meet him under. However, it does seem like Nomura's style to incorporate a story reason for being in Shibuya instead of just simply being a world you could go to for gameplay purposes, kind of like how the Disney worlds work. Though even though we do see this in the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret movie, we are really showing this again when we go and fight Yozora at the end of the Kingdom Hearts ReMind DLC. As you can clearly tell, we are in Shibuya here. But with Sora waking up in the Shibuya Scramble really shows that this is a huge hint that Sora is going to participate in the Reaper's game. The 10-4 building is in the background and everything. Now, I know some people might say that he won't be participating in the Reaper's game as because that trailer did make sure to show us Sora's hands, and as we saw in Dream Drop Distance and in The World Ends With You, anyone participating in the game will have the clock on their hand. They can see how much time they have left. But however, Sora did not have this timer on his hand, which would signify he's not part of the game. However, when the game is about to start, no one has the timer on their hand. Reaper's game hasn't started yet. So I don't really see the reason why it would happen. Sora wouldn't be just waking up right in the middle of the game, so that doesn't really quite make too much sense to me. Though I do doubt the events of this would be the next numbered title, despite that's what the video title says. It's easier just to put KH4 as implication of the next Kingdom Hearts game, as after Melody of Memory, we have no confirmation on whatever the next title would be. This way we could have a new story with what happens after KH3, ReMind, and Melody of Memory, and march towards the next numbered title in the same time. They can also finally incorporate the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts with a mixture of how The World Ends With You plays, as Kingdom Hearts has done games with mission-based structures before, but putting a console spin on it would make things so much more fitting. Now, what I'd really be looking forward to is the gameplay of this game. And honestly, I'd love to see how they can incorporate The World Ends With You style into Kingdom Hearts through the uses of pins, as that's the main fighting style of The World Ends With You. So instead of going the route of using the traditional numbered title style gameplay, or even using the command style of Dream Drop Distance, Recoded, and Birth by Sleep, they can opt in for a new pin style. And as Sora competes in the Reaper's game with hopefully Neku as his partner, which could actually be the case, as spoiler alert for the new scenario from the Switch version, but Neku dies again at the end, so this could let him wind up in the Reaper's game once again. Sora can collect pins around Shibuya alongside Neku, buy them from shops, and more, which can all add to the arsenal of pin abilities his Keyblade can actually use. So from a story standpoint, it's possible Neku won't remember Sora, as depending on what he has to sacrifice for the Reaper's game, could be the memory of his friends, and depending on Sora's sacrifice, it could honestly go either way, which would lead to a really scary scenario of a Sora who doesn't remember any of his friends. I guess he'll be in a Roxas KH2 shoes kind of scenario, because just really think about that. Honestly, Sora's most valued possession is his friends, or even the memory of his friends, because they can't actually take away his friends, but they can take away the memories of his friends. And honestly, seeing a character like Sora have that happen to him, that'd be kind of rough to see. Makes you wonder what kind of person he'd be without the memory of his friends. But this is just something I wanted to redo in a style of this kind of non-scripted video, because that last video was very scripted back then. But again, there was a lot of new information, especially with ReMind and the Melody and Memory stuff, that I really wanted to go and just rework this video as a whole, even if it didn't necessarily need it too much. This is a topic I really did want to talk about again. But let me know what you think of this. Is it cool? Is it dumb? Do you want nothing to do with World Ends With You and Kingdom Hearts? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, why not share it out to a friend and subscribe? That way you can become part of our community and we have even more new people to talk to about the games we love so much. But thank you guys so much for watching. My name is KingdomAce, and remember, my warriors of courage, to stay strong, stay beautiful, and always look skyward.